Hello, my friends. We are coming to you today with your midday practice. This practice is about 30 minutes in length, 35 minutes, and it is aimed for the heart. Give us a pause in the middle of our day to allow the heart to have space and support. So we're going to start our practice first by making sure we have any props that we need. We're going to be using the low portion of a wall. So if you have the side of a really firm bookcase that works better for you, that will work. What we're going to be doing is using it to support ourselves in a lunge. So the heel is going to press back into that wall. And the other thing that you're going to need are two soft supports, like folded towels or blankets, for a pose to support the heart. So you might go and get those things, and the first thing we're going to do is symbolically lay down whatever we've been carrying. So a lot of our culture is a lot about learning to contract and build the muscles, do the thing, accomplish the thing, and actually muscles become very weak from focusing only on the concentric contraction. We need the eccentric, which is the release, the letting go. So you might do like me and just imagine for a second that you're holding everything up that needs your care, that can't get spilled. And I want you to really hold it. You might hold it a different way. You might be holding it on top of your shoulders or holding it up with one knee. Get into that for a second. Maybe inhale into it and hold the breath. 3, 2, 1. Place it down gently. We're not dropping it so it breaks. We're just letting it go. And then take a moment to find your mountain pose without that weight. 3 breaths here. Just for now, just for the time of this practice, letting it be. Good work, y'all. All right, so we're going to come right into Shavasana right now. We're going to stop the momentum of the day, finding our way down to the earth. Everybody's body is a little bit different, so if you prefer, those knees are going to stay bent and the feet wide, knees resting in on each other. And if you prefer, those legs can lengthen away from you. Let's have the hands below shoulder height so that the blood pressure drops. Any movements you need to make are fine. We'll be here for a couple minutes, letting the eyes gently close. So poet David Whyte teaches that we need to let the journey stop before we begin a new journey. So that's what we're doing here. Notice what it feels like to be completely supported. And ask yourself, what do I know about being supported? Doesn't have to be mental knowledge. It might be body knowledge or a memory, a visual. Soak in what it's like to be supported while you allow the breath to move in and out freely through the center of the chest. For 4 more breaths. And then we'll let the feet find the floor one at a time. And we'll gently roll to one side, and we're going to be gathering those two props for the first of two supported poses that will be the beginning of this next phase of our practice. So one blanket or towel will be in a long, low fold, going down the length of your mat. The second one will be a chubbier fold for the back of the head. The hips are actually not going to be on any prop at all. So I'm going to sit in front of my props with the legs bent and the feet on the earth. I'm going to help myself back and make any adjustments I need to. Hips are all the way down, shoulder blades are down under the back, and then I'll let the palms open beside me with a soft bend in the elbows. If the shoulders are tight, you might enjoy some cushions underneath those forearms. And then the legs might lengthen away from you. And then just notice what this is like. The purpose of this pose becomes clear after a moment. I'm going to make an adjustment to mine because I want some more opening. I'm going to turn that prop sideways. So I get a little bit more lift to the heart. You might use a block underneath the head. We do not have enough blocks here, so I'm not demonstrating that. So you can see this slight variation. Start to allow the breath to come in through the back of the heart and out through the front.
Do you want the breath to come in on an inhale or out on an exhale? Does it not matter?
I don't know what you mean. The breath always comes in on the inhale.
Good. Yeah, true.
And that was a funny question. So let's let 3 more of these breaths come and go. When you're doing this on your own, you might stay in any of the poses longer. And then we'll gently transition by bringing the left hand behind your head, bending that elbow. We're just going to let the knees fall, letting the shoulders ease to the right side. And then gently transition to seated. And we'll clear our mat of props. And we're going to take our mat to this nice low wall that you're going to be using. And while Ben sets up for this pose, I'm going to show it as though I were lying down to show the shape of your body in this pose. It's sometimes called Banana Asana, which gives you a good sense of the shape we're going to be making. With your feet on the wall and your back on the earth, we're going to be reaching up overhead, and then we're going to take the feet to the left and the arms to the left, so we make a slight bow or bow. And from there, the arms might ease into various options. Maybe one hand on the belly, the other hand low. Okay? And that support of the low wall allows you to really... Well, what does support allow you to do? I'm going to let you figure that out. Why be supported? If there's any lumbar pain, you can bend that that right foot a little bit. So always just playing with what's needed. If something doesn't feel right, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means the pose needs to change. Notice the support of the wall as well as the earth, while you sense the breath entering and exiting for 3 more full rounds. The breath can be effortless. And then we'll gently ease back to the center. Sometimes I bring my hands to the back of my head and pick my head up and bring it to the center. And then I'll step the feet out so they're too wide to touch the wall. Everybody's different. That helps me reset. So we're not resisting anything here in our noonday practice or ever. Really. So now I'm going to walk my feet slightly over to the right, just feeling that support. I'm going to take my chest just slightly to the right as well. This side might feel a little different. Some of us have more tone on the left or the right side of the low belly, or more tightness or some scoliosis. Adjusting with the chest. Let it be as it is. Keep your awareness centered on sensation here in the now. Last 3 breaths. And then we'll gently ease the legs back to the midline. Bring the chest back to the midline. Let the legs widen out if that feels good. Otherwise, the legs are bent with the knees resting in. Taking a moment to reset. It's not really reset. Just harvesting the pose. And then we'll ease to our side, and we're going to take a moment to just come back to seated on one of our props and notice what your breath feels like. There's lots of different ways to sit. Might be on the edge of a bed. Really love yourself. And notice what your breath feels like. Let 3 breaths come and go. And stay seated for about 1 more minute to do some exercises for the eyes. The sense organs are so important, and at midday they may already be beginning to show signs of some wear and tear. One of the best tips for caring for your eyes throughout the day is to find a green spot that you can let the eyes flit and gaze around without a hard focus. So take that with you into your afternoon. But more formally, there are practices you can do that will rest the eye. So we're going to keep the head level, but we're going to take the eye's focal point to high noon and 6 o'clock 5 times. And then we're going to take them from 11 to 5 times. And then from 1 to 7, 5 times. We're going to go all the way from 9 to 3. And then close the eyes, take a moment to rest. Easy eyes. The second of 3 exercises is circling slowly. This is hard, it can be a little jerky. So we'll start at high noon and we're going to go clockwise once, nice and slow. Trying to trace the widest perimeter. Checking that the breath is still flowing. Be patient with yourself, you don't need to get this right. Coming up and around. And then twice a little bit more lightly and quickly, same direction. Let the eyes gently close. And second direction, starting at high noon. Slowly counter. Easy forehead. Breath moving through the heart. And then lightly and more quickly twice. Blinking whenever you need to. And release, letting the eyes close. We're going to practice 3 different kinds of focus. Near focus, taking the thumb in front of you, really noticing the nail bed, the creases at the knuckle. And then without moving your head, look off into the distance as far as you can see past the thumb. Bring the attention back to the thumb. And then let the eyes melt and go soft into open focus. No one point more important than the other. Soft, melty gaze. Your peripheral will widen out when you do this. And then let the eyes gently close. Relax the thumb. If you're wearing glasses, take them off. We're going to rub the hands, creating warmth in the palms that we're going to send deep into the eye sockets with love, supporting the eyes. Receiving. Settling towards the back of the skull. Sensing the back of the skull. And we'll gently release those hands. We're going to find our way into all fours position. If the knees are delicate, you might fold your mat, place a blanket across. Not delicate, but we are going to be putting weight on one of the knees. So we're going to establish a good foundation with the hands. Spread the hands. And then reach the right arm alongside the ear and the left heel at sitting bone height. Balancing here as you breathe in and out through the back of the heart. Then on an inhale, lengthen even more the pinky side of the toe, pinky side of the hand away from each other, and exhale, rounding. Elbow towards knee. Do that a few times. More when you're on your own, maybe. You can always be on the elbow if the wrist is an issue here. It's a little bit different. Last one. Then we'll breathe in, getting long once more. Exhale your hand down to the ground and the knee in towards the chest. Help yourself into a low lunar lunge. Coming all the way up here. We're going to let the fingertips be really heavy. Establish your foundation. We're going to be moving forward and back across that joint. So here, if you feel stable, the knee can traverse as far as the ball of the foot, but not past, just to be extra safe. So as we breathe in, we're going to imagine the wrists drawing forward to chest height. As we exhale, pull the elbows way back. Just gliding. Inhaling. Last one. We'll breathe in, letting arms float up. And exhale, frame that front foot. Step back into all fours position. Spreading the hands. Now we'll reach the left arm and the right heel. Feeling the midline. Breathing in, elongating. Exhale, rounding. Twice more at your own pace. Again, know you can be down on that forearm. Just a slightly smaller rounding that you can do. Then we'll lengthen, hand and foot away, and exhale the hand down and the knee into the chest, helping yourself forward into the lunar lunge. So you might be staying with the knee right above the ankle. Some of us will be flowing with the knee forward and back. So just see what makes more sense for you. And when you're ready, breathing in. Easy hands. Last one. Breathing arms high. And exhaling, framing. We're going to curl those back toes under and lengthen through that back leg. And then slowly walk forward, rolling up to standing. Taking your time, we're going to be moving towards the wall. We're going to leave our mats because we don't really need them, but you might take them if your floor surface requires it. So we're going to just check our distance by standing about 4 feet away and then seeing if we can reach back and plant a heel into that wall. Then you might adjust your distance if you need to, and then find your way back into mountain pose. On an inhale, we're going to raise both arms and lift the right knee into crane pose, into a balance. So we'll just inhale. Exhale, stepping back and easing into a cactus pose. Bringing that heel into the wall. Then we'll say ah the next time we exhale. Let's do twice more. Exhale, tilting forward and standing in mountain. Take a moment there. And now on the second side, we'll start changing our ah as soon as we step back. So we'll breathe in. Tilting forward. Big breath in, both arms up. Soft bend at the knees, soften the belly and chest, touching the legs. Breathing in, long, flat back. Letting out. Rolling to rise up, tailbone points down, arms reach skyward. Exhale, one hand to the front of the heart, the other hand to the back of the heart or the waist, whichever is more available here. And just take a moment here to breathe into the back and out through the front. Just pretending the breath could come in to the back and go out through the front. Gently release. Clear the shoulders. Nice. So our last two poses are both supported and on the belly before we come into final relaxation. You might open one of your blankets and spread it out across your mat for some nice cushions to be on the belly that might feel good. And the first one is going to be a nice stretch for the front of the thigh. We're going to transition into lizard pose on that same side by shifting the weight onto your left hip. You'll take the right leg out to the side. I'm going to show you that on the side closest to the camera. Shift the weight, take the knee out. Heel is in line, toes and knees pointing the same direction.
Are you your right or left?
We're actually doing the right, but I'm demonstrating the left. Yep. And then you might be staying right up here on the forearms with the head melting. Or you might come all the way down onto the chest. Whichever works best for you. So we're working with the heartline meridian in traditional Chinese medicine, opening that inner line. And as you're here, just call to mind what you noticed earlier when you asked yourself what you know about being supported. Letting the breath come and go. If there's muscle tension in maintaining this pose, change the angle a little bit for yourself. You're going to start to slowly lengthen that leg away from you. And then we're going to take the right hand out to the right. I'm going to demonstrate with my left. Palm down. Your left hand is going to come next to your chest. And you'll press to stack the shoulders and the hips as you breathe out into that right hand. If you need to bend these legs, please feel free to do that. Let the breath volumize the front and back of the heart. Out into the roots of the arms, out into the palm. We'll gently ease down, taking a moment to just feel. And then we'll come to the second side, lining the feet up with the sitting bones, letting that left leg bend. You might clasp around the inside and just be here. You might take a hand at the top of the foot. Heavy left bottom. Maybe letting that foot circle. Clasping the foot is not healthy. And then we'll carry it out to the side, letting ourselves prop up on the elbows. Feeling into this shape. You might flex that foot then. Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah. And we're deciding whether to stay up here with the head hanging low. Maybe the head is supported on a block. That's also a great option. Or softening down. Gently lengthen that leg away from you. And then we'll take that left hand out to the left, right hand next to the chest, slowly opening. And go the other way, since I've already done that side. So the chest stacks, the hips stack maybe. Everyone's body is a little different.
And gently help yourself all the way back down. Here we're going to stack the hands under the forehead. And then come into a big earth hug. We're going to let the palms spread wide. We're going to make a big X with the legs. And you'll start on your right cheek, just feeling that whole earth beneath you. Gently turn and look the other way. And then we'll slowly bring the hands in close to us and gently press up onto the elbows. And we're going to ease our way gently up to seated. And so this is a place where you could stop and do a full final relaxation if you want to. But we're going to go right into completing our practice now by taking a moment here to let one hand rest at the heart, the other hand at the belly center. Gently bowing. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice. May the fruits of this practice benefit all beings everywhere. May all beings be supremely happy, ourselves included. Namaste. I bow to the divine in you.